Ntokozo, good evening. Load shedding is here to stay. There are huge water supply concerns increasing in metros. Property owners and those in non-residential spaces are under pressure to find solutions when it comes to energy and water. Well, you're going to help us dig into navigating this landscape in the property sector. Ntokozo, what challenges are homeowners facing?
Thanks, Stephen. Well, if we go by what Malcolm Hone, the Group CEO of Broad Property Group, says, the increasing challenging landscape includes property owners navigating new regulations and becoming more resilient in the face of looming power and water cuts. And for more, I'm now joined by Broad EWS Managing Director Mitesh Bawan. And Mitesh, that's EWS stands for Energy, Water and Sustainability. I'm correct?
Correct.
Let's start here, Mitesh. As a property owner, and I imagine it's whether it's retail, industrial, which are the clients that you deal with, what we're really focusing on is making that property work for us. We're not really thinking so much on what innovative solutions do I need to come up with to deal with load shedding and water cuts. What are some of those issues that property owners are facing when it comes to sustainability, specifically within electricity and water supply?
Thanks. Firstly, thank you, Ntokozo. Thank you for having us on behalf of the Broad Property Group. When looking at properties, I think currently the property sector, not only commercial, industrial and retail, but also residential, we're struggling with load shedding. A lot of what the property sector is struggling with is increasing cost due to additional diesel consumption. What we are looking at and what we believe property owners should be looking at is understanding where their biggest energy consuming areas are within those properties and understanding what they can do. So, for example, in a commercial property, your biggest consumption will be around the heating and ventilation of the building. What can you look at? What energy audits can you do? Is there any control measures that you can put in place that could reduce that consumption and overall reduce your energy consumption from your diesel costs?
And once I've gone through all of this, how does this help me reduce those costs? Because obviously it comes with a lot of operational costs. There's an article that I saw that showed that on a daily basis, large property owners such as retailers and so on could spend up to $500,000 a day just based on load shedding. So how does me going through these measures, help reduce those costs?
So I think it's twofold. I think when you're initially looking at how your building is consuming energy, understanding where that significant energy use areas are. By the implementation of some basic online smart metering, you'll be able to understand what your property is consuming out of operating hours. I think that's an amazing place to start. Knowing how much energy you consume when nobody's in the facility, and then looking at ways to reduce that portion of your energy bill. That helps our current grid issue, as well as the property owner in terms of cost, as well as the tenant, because you've got to work as holistically with the tenants, with the landlords, to be able to come to these innovative ideas and solutions that we currently need.
Now, we've obviously heard a lot of solutions come up because it's clear that load shedding is here, with us to stay. And with the deepening energy crisis, outside of, saying find solar solutions, what other solutions do companies such as yourself offer, property owners within various industries, outside of just solar energy solutions?
So we look at a holistic approach where we want to walk a journey with anyone really, most of our customers. And that journey involves a couple of things. With energy and water, it's energy conservation, water conservation. What can you do to reduce your current consumption, that won't really cost you anything? Then there's energy efficiency and water efficiency. What can we implement that would reduce that consumption while still maintaining, the environmental conditions? And then the last part is actually looking at diversified renewables. We're not only looking at solar at the moment. You've got to look down the line, what's going to come next. Solar is great, but you only generate energy when the sun's there.
Mm-hmm.
We are fortunate in South Africa where we have one of the highest irradiation levels in the world, so that's great for us. But you need to look at what you're going to be needing in the future as well. So it's not just solar. It's really how do you conserve, what can you do to improve, how can you reduce your waste from a water and energy perspective, and then substituting that with base renewables.
Now, Mtesh, just as a last final question for this afternoon, if I am a property owner who has not invested in finding those innovative solutions yet, obviously 2023 we're going to face some of this, same headwinds that were faced by business last year. What would be some of the first starting points really to get going to ensure that we have sustainable energy and water for our properties?
So working with facility managers, working with everybody. If you haven't started already, work with everybody from the security detail within your building all the way right up to the executive level to get the right policies and the right behavioral change that you need in order to effect the change. So if you're working with your security detail, start training your security detail to understand how to detect a leak when nobody's in the building. Those are in my opinion, they've got so much power at their disposal to be able to report on these things and switch off when things are not in use. Human beings in nature don't really, really go down the route of switching things off and making sure that they're dedicated in the long-term goal. But using everybody from the ground up to be able to build that entire ethos around energy management and water management will not only help the building owner and the tenants, etc., but also those learnings will be able to carry through to their children, to their home, and basically create a generation of people that can understand what wastage of energy and wastage of water is.
Mtesh, unfortunately, that's all the time we have this afternoon. We are going to have to leave it there. Hopefully, the next time we chat to you, we've seen, that build-up of that generation that's a little bit more mindful in terms of, energy and the water that we use. Of course, that was Brawl EWS Managing Director, Mtesh Bowan.